In this episode, we will showcase incredible giant machines. A massive airplane with a wingspan that surpasses the length of a soccer field. The heaviest tank ever built. And the largest floating object on the planet. Get ready to marvel at these imposing giants. Chapter 1 V12. When one thinks of heavy transport, imposing construction machines usually come to mind, but rarely is a helicopter associated with this idea. However, it is fair to consider the MiL V12, which is the world's most massive helicopter, capable of lifting the most immense loads. What significantly sets this helicopter apart from others is its origin during the Cold War, when the Soviet government needed to create means of transportation capable of landing in limited space locations without roads. In response, they conceived a helicopter of an entirely new category. As a result, Soviet engineers managed to incorporate 4 engines and a landing gear with 3 supports and equip the wings with special supports to optimize reliability. The MiL V12's cabin is notably distinctive, with 2 floors. The upper floor is intended for the radio operator and navigator, while the lower accommodates a flight engineer and an electrician, with a total capacity to house a team of 6 members. Impressively, this helicopter has set 8 world records. It boasts the highest maximum weight ever recorded among aircraft in this category, combining it with a remarkable payload capacity totaling 69 tons. Additionally, the MiL V12 can reach a speed of 260 km per hour and cover distances of up to 1,000 kilometers. Chapter 2 Mouse. 4 letters define the main failure among tanks of the Third World War. Why did this happen? Because it became the world's bulkiest tank, and capable of firing a single shot in battle, never having participated in one. Only 2 of these vehicles were built in April of 1945. When the Soviet Army approached the test site, the Germans chose to destroy the prototypes because evaluating them was impossible. Both tanks were detonated, but only one suffered significant damage. The size of this vehicle was truly impressive, weighing 188.9 tons net weight. For comparison, the second largest tank of the time weighed around 75 tons. The leadership of the Third Reich was compelled to make this decision due to urgent circumstances as the Soviet Union advanced rapidly. Something had to be created to compete with them. This led to the conception of the enormous tanks, ironically nicknamed Mouse. The underlying idea was to turn them into mobile fortresses. Although not fast, with a maximum speed of only 20 km per hour, they were immense and equipped with long-range cannons. As the project was constantly refined, the tank became increasingly heavier, reaching an impressive 180 tons. Chapter 3 Double Plane. The citizens of the United States constructed an aircraft of colossal dimensions, featuring a notable uniqueness: a single wing. In terms of length, its grandeur is not the most attention-grabbing aspect, as it measures only 73 meters. However, its most relevant characteristic lies in its extraordinary mass, exceeding 225 tons, accompanied by a singular wing of astonishing 117 meters. Despite its magnitude, this flying machine is not hindered by slowness because, being a plane, it boasts a maximum speed of 853 km per hour. However, on its inaugural flight, its performance reached a modest 304 km per hour, ascending to an altitude of 5 kilometers. A sensible question arises: what is the purpose of creating an aircraft of this size? Certainly, its purpose is not for passenger transport, but rather for cargo transportation. This design provides the capacity to carry objects of unimaginable dimensions, with a weight equivalent to the machine itself, around 230 tons. However, it was later discovered that this was the official version under which transportation was conceived. In reality, its creation was intended for a more confidential mission, which involved launching the Pegasus XL cruise launch vehicle into orbit. In the end, a more cost-effective project was adopted for this purpose, and this record holder was retired, remaining immortalized in global memory. Chapter 4: Airbus A380. How about discussing an airplane that cost nearly $500 million to produce? Is it a giant, a wonder on the inside, or both? We are talking about the Airbus A380, known as the largest passenger plane in the world, both in size and weight. Its capacity is 525 passengers in 3 classes or 853 in a single class. With an impressive length of 73 meters, a wingspan of incredible 79 meters, and a weight of 280 tons, this plane is composed of over 6.5 million different parts and components from 1,500 companies in 30 countries. This 2-deck plane has 4 engines and can fly for more than 15,000 kilometers, reaching a speed of 900 kilometers per hour. However, the true experience is inside, especially in the first-class cabin, which offers service equivalent to a 5-star hotel. Each passenger has an individual compartment equipped with a TV, minibar, power outlets, touch screens, and a chair that reclines 180 degrees for comfortable sleep. Unfortunately, this technological marvel is no longer produced due to the enormous sums involved. Chapter 5: SLJ 932 Bridge Builder. While some people are establishing connections in the air, others are truly building physical bridges. I want to show you an incredible machine, in high demand in China, known as the SLJ 932, developed to erect bridges on the route from Beijing to Mongolia, spanning 1,700 kilometers. These bridges need to have extensive spans, and the available time was limited. Conventional machines were not suitable for this challenging task, leading to the creation of this impressive machine. The giant has imposing dimensions, over 90 meters in length, 9 meters in height, and about 7.5 meters in width. In general, it is a large portal crane with 2 tractors at each end. Sliding beams support the concrete spans from below and mutually support each other as they approach. The weight of this astonishing machine nearly reaches 600 tons. Surprisingly, its capabilities far exceed its own weight. It can handle blocks weighing up to 1,000 tons. The transportation system has 4 independent segments, each with 16 wheels that can rotate to ensure greater stability. The machine can move on its own at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour when empty and at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour when loaded. Its maneuvering ability is remarkable, especially when compared to other heavy machines. During the construction process, the SLJ 932 slowly moves its supports to the next platform, pushes the section toward the bridge construction, and lowers it at the designated location. Given the immensity of the work accomplished by this machine, it is challenging to imagine how people were able to build bridges without its assistance. It truly seems like an impossible feat. Chapter 6: Conveyor Transporter. Have you heard of the brothers Franz and Hans? If you're a space enthusiast, you've probably heard of them. They are famous for being NASA's giant transporters. Their goal was to carry, first, the Saturn V and, later, the space shuttles. These immensely heavy machines, each weighing over 2,500 tons, consist of a platform supported by 4 sets of tracks, each with 2 tracks. A special hydraulic system keeps the platform level with great precision and allows for silent and smooth movements. Now, as for the amount of fuel involved, get ready to be surprised. Each of these transporters devours 400 liters of fuel per kilometer. Fortunately, they don't travel long distances, typically covering a maximum of 6 kilometers. However, to do so, they take at least 5 hours. Amazing, isn't it? Chapter 7: The Big Muskie. This is the moment for something even more imposing. We're referring to an excavator that weighs 13,500 tons and whose construction dates back to the 1960s. Only 2 years were needed for the designs, and once approved, assembly took another 2 years. Due to the size and the location of the mine for which it was designed, the Big Muskie was assembled directly on site, on a special reinforced concrete foundation. Considering all costs, as reported by the company, they spent over $25 million to bring this idea to fruition. Have I mentioned the weight of this monstrous machine? It's truly impressive. However, I was also astonished by the capacity of its bucket, which reached 325 tons. With it, it could excavate up to 56 meters deep. Believe it or not, the final height of the excavator was almost 70 meters, with a width of 46.2 meters, and the length of the boom reached about 150 meters. The empty bucket weighed 230 tons, and the diameter of the cable supporting the boom measured 127 millimeters. This powerful machine was powered by electricity, consuming 13,800 volts. The fascinating thing is that this technological wonder could move, although not at great speed. However, the travel speed of the Big Muskie was sufficient to excavate 68 million cubic meters of soil and extract over 20 million tons of coal during its operation. The local residents liked it so much that when the order came to dismantle it, many insisted strongly to leave it as it was, as a monument. Chapter 8, Bagger 288. Here is an excavator that has achieved the status of a living legend. It is the colossal rotary monster, recognized as the largest self-propelled machine on the planet, whose construction took place in 1978, making it a unique specimen. The grandiosity of this machine is reflected in its impressive dimensions: 240 meters in length, 13,500 tons in weight, and a height of 96 meters. Equipped with 18 buckets, the Bagger 288 is capable of performing voluminous excavations of soil and rocks daily without significant setbacks. Approximately, it takes loading about 2,500 wagons daily to transport the materials extracted by this monumental machine. Chapter 9, Prelude FLNG. It's not only the work machines that can surprise with their dimensions. Surely, I am not the only one who does not feel averse when observing these enormous ships transporting precious cargo across the oceans. If you, like me, are impressed when you see an ordinary ship, you will be astonished when you learn about the Prelude FLNG. It is the largest floating natural gas processing platform designed and built by Shell plc. Its length reaches approximately 488 meters, making it the longest ship on the planet. This project has the capacity to handle and process about 3,500,000 tons of natural gas every year. It is truly an engineering marvel and an impressive demonstration of what the naval industry is capable of achieving. So, what do you think of these monstrous machines? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.